Hello, this is Miss Harris from the School Counseling Department. It's again time to start to talk about registration for next year. I know the third quarter just began, but this is a detailed process where we have to get course requests, there's staffing, there's making master schedule. So it's time to get started. So we wanted to give you some information that you'll need to do the process. First thing is, who is your school counselor? If your last name is A through E, it's Dr. Perry. If it's F through J, it's myself, Miss Harris. K through Q, Miss Ponte. R through Z, Mr. Verlich. Dr. Perry will be back at the end of February. However, if you have a question during this process, I've also put on the screen the last names who are temporarily assigned to other counselors while she is on maternity leave. Let's first talk about what you need to graduate, because that's the goal that our first number one goal for all students. So you need to complete your state service learning hours. That can differ based on when you began to attend school in Maryland and in Calvert County. So if you have any question, you can look on your report card. If it says you need hours and you would like to know how you could get them, you can come see Ms. Harris in the guidance department and start to plan out how to get all your hours before you graduate. You also need to sit for and or pass any state assessments that your core teachers inform you about. And then you have to meet certain class requirements that you've earned a credit in these courses, and that includes a pathway. So let's look at the courses. You need 4 English, 4 math, 3 social studies, U.S., government, world history. They tell you exactly what 3 they are. Science, you need 3, biology, a physical, chemical, and then an earth. You need 1 fine art credit. That could be chorus, art, band, theater, anything in the arts. You need 1 tech ed. There's a foundations of tech. There's some engineering programs. There's an AP computer science. There's an intro to computer science. Any of those would be a tech ed credit. You need a half of PE. And you need a half of health if you are a junior currently going to be a senior next year. However, all other students, 9th graders and 10th graders, you will need a full year of health. So somewhere in 9th or 10th grade, health 1, somewhere in 11th and 12th grade may be paired with financial lit, which is the next thing on the list, could be health 2. You need a half a year of financial literacy, and then you need a pathway, which is at least 2 years in the pathway of your choice. Because of that health difference, there's also a difference in the number of credits. So current juniors going to be seniors, you need 23.5 credits. Everyone else, you need 24.5 credits to graduate. So the things I listed is only like, 21 of them. I didn't add them up. But there are some things that are just electives, take what you want, but you have to not only get these courses, you have to hit that credit total as well. So what's a pathway? If your path is to go to a 4-year college out of high school, then you need to take 2 years of a foreign language. Again, up until this junior to senior class still has the rule that you can mix and match. So if I took French 1 and Spanish 1, that could count. However, that rule was changed by the state. And so now, for 9th and 10th graders, you will have to take 2 years, but in the same language, in order to complete the college prep pathway. So Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. American Sign Language 1 and American Sign Language 2. You can't mix and match. Other pathways, which could be in addition to college prep or a standalone, there are some based here at Calvert High and some at the CTA next door. On the screen is some examples of pathways that are here at Calvert High School. You really, since you need 2 years of it, you need to start your pathway by the time you start your junior year. So if you are a sophomore right now and you are thinking about registration, should be a pathway started next year if it hasn't already. There are also, as I stated, pathways that occur at the CTA, so students would apply to the CTA. It's not a given that you get there. Put it on your application form, apply to the CTA, and then those who are admitted to the CTA will leave our building when it's scheduled to do so, take the course over there, and then come back. So there's a variety of courses that you could take and a variety of trades at the CTA. But you must start as a junior. You cannot start the CTA generally as a senior because you won't have the 2 years to complete it. So CTA programs begin your junior year. Just to reiterate, college admissions have a rule that they're looking for students who have 2 years of the same foreign language. So even a junior who maybe could graduate with 2 different ones this year, colleges may ask for 2 or 3 years of the same language. So make sure you're doing your research and start looking at some colleges you're interested in and making sure not only are you meeting the requirements to graduate from Calvert High School, but also to get into the schools that you're interested in. Never too early to start doing your research. Colleges are also looking at students who get solid grades, not necessarily straight A's, but solid grades in challenging courses. So start to think about courses, maybe they're AP, maybe they are in specified areas of training that challenge you and show the college they only see you as a name and a GPA and what is it that you're involved in at school, what courses have you taken. So you want that piece of paper with your name on it, that application, to show that you are willing to try harder things and that you are willing to get a solid grade and do what it takes, because that's those kind of soft skills you're going to need in college. And AP courses are challenging. It's true, but the whole idea is that we're preparing you for college, because college is also very challenging and has hours of work and prep. So yes, they are challenging, and you need to manage your expectation and realize that that has to then be part of your weekly routine, that you allow for time to study and prep for those classes.
Hello everyone, this is Miss Ponte, and I want to share some information with you about the new courses for this upcoming school year. So some of the new courses are all in the PE and Health department. So we have 2 new PE courses for the upcoming school year. The first is Sport Education Basketball. And basically what that is a course that's all about basketball, the basketball team. And the idea is that students will have the opportunity to experience all things basketball. So not only playing basketball, but also someone who will get to coach, be a manager of the team, someone will be an athletic trainer, that kind of thing. So it's really the whole sport of basketball and what goes into it. Another new course is Movement, Mindfulness, and Mental Health. And you can see for all of these courses, I wrote the course numbers next to them. So, movement, mindfulness, and mental health is all about stress relief, getting to know yourself, taking care of yourself, self care, that kind of thing. And these courses are both half year courses. But it's important to note that although these are PE courses, these do not meet the PE requirement um, for graduation. So, something to think about. And if you take it, the prerequisites before you can take either of these courses are Health Part 1 and any PE course that has met your graduation requirement. And of course, the other new course, which we all knew was coming, is Health 2. And this is something that only our rising seniors will not have to take. Everybody else will need to take this. And this is a half credit course. This will not be offered as an online course in summer 2023 or during the 2023-2024 school year. I know we had a lot of students who were asking about that, but just know that that is not going to be an option, at least during that time. So some additional updates. The agriculture program has moved to the CTA. So if you are a rising 10th grader and want to take the agriculture program, you're able to start that as a junior at CTA. The Comp and Ret, this is a new thing. So now Comp and Ret is typically an honors English 12 class that seniors take. But for that next school year, this class will be open to juniors and seniors. Now, this is a dual enrollment English class, which means that you can take the class at Calvert High School with our teachers and also potentially earn CSM credit. So if you are in 10th grade right now, or in 11th grade, you can talk to your English teacher to get some more information about Comp and Ret and what that might mean for you. One change just in name for next year is that Rec Sports, a PE class, is now going to be called Lifetime Activity. So the course will be the same, it's just the name has changed. And just a reminder, because this was offered last year, we had some students sign up for this, but Russian 1 is going to be one of those courses that maybe won't be offered at Calvert High, but can potentially, you can take it online with a teacher from Huntingtown High School or from another high school in the county. So as always, my reminder to you is sign up for any course that you want to take that you see in the book, even if it's a course that we haven't always offered at Calvert High, because the master schedule and the courses that we offer are all done based on the number of students that sign up for courses. So for example, Intro to Film or any of those courses that haven't run at Calvert High in a long time, if there are enough students who sign up for them, we will run them next year. So just something to think about. So in worst case scenario, if you sign up for something that doesn't run, you'll meet with your counselor and we'll have you pick out an alternate. So just something to think about as you're looking through the course catalog and thinking about your courses for next year. Some other things we offer is online courses. And during the school year next year, these courses are going to be offered that you can see on the screen. AP Calc 1, AP English Literature, which is for seniors, AP English Language, which is for juniors and seniors, AP Psychology, AP Statistics, Foundations of Technology, Foundations of Computer Science, Music Appreciation, Health Part 1, and Financial Literacy. So you can take an online class as one of your 7 periods and not have to pay for it. Or if you want to get ahead on some credits, you can potentially take an online class outside of your regular school day. So you would have a full schedule and take an online class. Now just keep in mind, if you take it in addition to 7 periods, you do have to pay for the course and it runs about $300. So keep that in the back of your mind. And if you want to register for an online class, when you are choosing your classes in Hack and writing them on your form, you would just write the course number with an O for online after the course number. And that's how we'll know as your counselors that that is the course that you want to take, and we can help you get signed up for it. So summer online courses are also another really popular thing for students who kind of want to get ahead or make up some credits. So the online courses that are going to be offered in this summer in 2023 are Foundations of Technology, Foundations of Computer Science, Music Appreciation, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Financial Literacy, and Health Part 1. So these courses, if you're taking them for original credit for the first time, will run anywhere between $250 and $325. Now, if you're taking these because you didn't end up, you tried the class before and you didn't end up passing it, you do not have to pay for it. And I would say if you're planning on taking an online course in the summer, you're hoping to see your counselor. There are some extra steps that you have to take to get signed up. And these classes are really popular and they tend to fill up pretty quickly. And it is first come, first serve. And rising seniors are given the highest priority. So if this is something you want to do, talk with your counselor about it so that we can get you the information you need so you have the best chance of signing up for the class. So I'm talking now just to seniors. This doesn't apply to anybody else in the building, only our seniors. So something that a lot of our seniors look forward to is having early release or late arrival. And what this means is that basically you can come in late or leave early. Now, in order to have early release on your schedule, you must have reliable transportation to and from school. So what that means is that you cannot be hanging around at school during periods or classes when you don't have regular classes scheduled. So you need to make sure you have a ride to and from school during the time when you leave and come back. Your classes have to be scheduled together, so you can't have a hole in your schedule. So you can't have class during periods 1 and 2, have a break during 3, and then come back 3 and 4 and come back periods 6 and 7. Your classes all have to be scheduled together. In order to be eligible for honor roll, you must be taking 4 credits. So if that's important to you and you're thinking about leaving early for next year, think about that. Now, in addition, is that if you are going to be requesting early release, you need to complete and turn in a pink early release form to your 8th period teacher along with your completed paper registration form. And you can stop by the counseling office at any time to pick up an early release permission slip. And what this is it's just your parents have to sign. You have to sign that you're agreeing to all of these things. If you have any questions about this, you can certainly talk with your counselor. So another opportunity that's available to our students is dual enrollment at CSM. And what this means is that you have the opportunity to earn CSM college credits while you're still in high school. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can take classes at Calvert High with our teachers. You can take pre-calc or accelerated algebra 2 and pre-calc, or that comp and ret English class I mentioned earlier. Those are classes you would take at Calvert High with our teachers and then be able to earn CSM credit. There's nothing you have to do right now for those classes other than just signing up for them and putting them on your registration form. The paperwork from CSM will come later on in the school year, next year, probably around the holidays. Now, the other opportunity that's available to our juniors and seniors is that they can actually go to CSM on their campus and take college classes. And a lot of students will do this, especially as seniors, because you have a shortened schedule. Now, the deadline to register to take classes in the fall is July 15th. The deadline to take classes in the summer is May 15th. And I will tell you guys this, if this is something you want to do, there is a little bit of a process and some paperwork that has to be completed by you and your counselor. And we don't work every day over the summer. So if this is something you want to do, make sure you're chatting with us sooner rather than later. Because if we're on the beach, we are certainly not worried about helping you get signed up for CSM. So be responsible and make sure you're taking advantage of time. So make sure you ask sooner rather than later about that. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but we also have those CSM classes at Calvert High. So that comp and ret or pre-calc and accelerated algebra 2 and pre-calc, those again are the classes that you can take at Calvert High and earn CSM credit. So now that you've heard all this information about all the opportunities that are available to you, we want to talk to you now about how you'll actually sign up for your classes for next year. So registration day at Calvert High is Thursday, February 9th. And what will happen that day is you want to go into class as normal. You go into your first period class, and your first period teacher will give you a paper registration form. Then throughout the day, you're going to take that form with you, and your teachers will sign off to approve your course choices. So they'll recommend you and make sure that you're thinking about the right courses for you for next year, the right levels, all that kind of stuff. And what you will do at the end of the day is you'll turn that paper form back into your 8th period teacher. And I know you're going to freak out and you're going to say, but it's not done. I haven't filled everything out. My English teacher was absent. They didn't sign my form. That's okay. Turn it in even if it's not completed. What will happen is your teachers will take them. They'll give it to us in the counseling office. We will make copies of the forms. And this is because in case you lose your form or anything else happens, we have a copy. We have a backup copy that we can use. And what we'll do is give them back to your teachers, so they'll be able to give them back to you on Friday, February 10th in 8th period. Now, the other thing we ask is when you're completing your registration forms that you do it in black or blue ink because it's just easier to read. And also, too, that you write legibly so that we can read what you are writing. And make sure you put your name on the form. You would be surprised how many students do not put their name on their registration form. So you really want to make sure that you're filling out the form the best that you can. And now, since you've heard all kinds of information about how to pick out your classes, I want to go over this paper registration form that you will get in first period. So depending on what your grade level is, your form may be a different color, maybe pink, it may be blue, it may be yellow, it may be green, and it all depends on your grade level. But for the most part, the form is going to be the same. So what you will see, and I'm going to try to show you with my mouse here, but what you'll see is at the top of the form is the information where you would write your name, your phone number, your address, that kind of thing. Please, please, please make sure you write your name on here. It's so crucial for us to know whose form it is. Now, this first section here is where you're going to list the classes that ideally you want to take for next year. So for our rising sophomores and rising juniors, you're going to have a space here to put in English, social studies, science, and math. And then for seniors, you'll only have a space for English and math because that's all that's required for students. But what you would do is write in your course number, the course name, and then have your teacher sign off on whatever level that they are agreeing for you to take for next year. If you need to know the course numbers, on the back of your form, there's going to be a list of all the courses that we offer along with all the course numbers. So you'll have access to that. So that will take care of you for your main subjects. And then the next part is where you put in your elective classes. So these are anything that is not one of the 4 main subjects. So for example, this student wants to take team sports and financial literacy for next year. So they're going to use both of the lines related to their first choice elective because team sports and financial literacy are half-year classes. So now there are signatures on here for these teachers, but this isn't something you have to worry about for courses like team sports or financial literacy because they don't have prerequisites. But you can see if you're taking a half-year class, you want to make sure that it's the partnering class or the class that will match up with it is also included on the form. And then for full year classes like art and design in this example or intro to engineering, you'll just use 1 line for each of those because they're 1 credit. Also keep in mind if you're taking a course that's 2 credits, for example, any of the CTA level 1 programs other than cosmetology or firefighter EMT, those are going to be 2 courses along with any of the AP sciences like AP environmental, AP biology, AP chemistry. They're going to take up 2 periods in your schedule. And then the last criminal justice course, criminal investigation, that's also 2 periods. So just make sure you allow time for that, or a space for that, I should say, as you're entering your courses. Now, so that's kind of where you pick the classes you want to take for next year. Now, this part here, the alternates, this is a section that not a lot of students take the time to fill out. And honestly, to me, it's one of the most important parts of your scheduling form. And here's why. So what happens is over the summer, once the schedule is made, your counselors spend a lot of time and energy getting you into these classes, the ones that you wanted to ask for. But sometimes, unfortunately, we're good, but we're not that good. Sometimes we have scheduling conflicts. Maybe you asked for Intro to Engineering and AP Physics, and both of those courses are only running at one time at the same time. So you'd have to pick one of those courses. So this is when we look for the alternates. And this tells us what your second choice would be. So for example, because this person wouldn't be able to get Intro into Engineering in the example I gave you, I would try to put them in Foundations of Technology because that's their alternate. That's what they wanted to pick as their second choice if they couldn't get Intro to Engineering. So you can see here, this person was probably, in my guess, trying to get their tech ed credit done. So their third choice elective and their alternate for their third choice elective were both tech ed credits. Same thing with art and design and theater, both fine art credits. And that was their second choice elective and alternate for elective 2. So just think about this. As you're filling out these alternates, make sure you're thinking, if I can't get this course, what would I want my alternate to be? And then at the bottom of the form here, there's information you need to sign, have your parents sign, all that kind of stuff. So that's how you would finish up your form. And once you have your form done, Mr. Verlich is going to talk about your next steps now of how to get everything turned in to your counselor.
Hey folks, Mr. Verlich here. And now I'd like to review the registration process with you. On February 10th, you will get your registration forms back after registration day. You'll get them back in 8th period. From there, you'll have a week to enter your courses into HACC. This must all be done by Friday, February 17th. By Friday, February 17th, you should have also turned in your registration form back to your 8th period teacher. It should have you and your parent's signature on. And also, if you get done early, you can turn it in early. As far as entering courses into HACC, the directions are in the handout you received today. They'll also be emailed to you. Additionally, your counselors will be available at lunch on Thursday, from Thursday, February 9th through Friday, February 17th in the counseling office. So come see us if you need help. And be sure what's in HACC matches what you've written on your registration sheet. We go back and double check that, so make sure everything matches up. Also, make sure you do turn in your form and enter your courses. If you don't do this, we will choose the courses for you. Guaranteed we'll choose what you need for graduation, but it might not necessarily be the list of courses you want for next year. So make sure you do it, not us. 10th graders, if you are interested in attending the CTA, see the link below. This survey must be completed if you are planning on attending the CTA next year. It is one of the steps that has to be completed. Okay, this survey needs to be done by February 23rd. Also, a reminder, the CTA is having an open house on February 8th, running from 6:30 to 8. So if you didn't get a chance to go down for the visit or you want to see more programs, go down to the open house. And just sort of going back through some of the important dates to remember. February 9th is registration day. February 10th is the date you'll get your forms back. And from there, you'll have a week to get your courses into hack, which is the 17th. That's also the date you should have everything turned into your teacher during 8th period. And finally, the CTA survey has to be done by the 23rd. Couple of reminders: keep your paper registration pack that was given to you today. It contains all the important information you need. Also, make sure you are checking your CCPS email for more resources such as the sample registration form and a fillable 4-year plan. Again, that email is going to be the source of a lot of important information. Make sure you are logging into your Office 365 email regularly. If you have any questions about registration, talk to your counselor. You can email us, make an appointment, or just stop by the guidance office. That's it, folks. Have a great day.